Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kendra Cook and my co-host is Kelsey Kiesling. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association. If you have a news topic or event that you would like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 970-677-4119. Today's show runs Thursday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is July 26, 2018, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Durango Herald, a man who failed to return to Hilltop House Community Corrections Facility on Sunday was apprehended Tuesday in New Mexico by authorities. Micah Schmidt, age 20, left from the Hilltop House on Sunday with an approved pass for work, but he didn't return. Based on policy directives, the corrections facility sent calls to Oscar's Cafe, his employer, the La Plata County Jail, and Mercy Regional Medical Center. After verifying that he wasn't at any of those locations, the House sent out a fugitive alert notice to local law enforcement agencies, Schmeier said. An employee of Hilltop House who lives in Shiprock was commuting to work Tuesday when he noticed Schmidt walking toward the town in northwest New Mexico. The employee called the sheriff's office in San Juan County, New Mexico, and Schmidt was apprehended an hour later, Schmeier said. An escape from a jail is considered a third-degree felony, which could result in 4 to 16 years in prison. Schmidt was serving a 1-year sentence for criminal possession of a financial device. He was originally arrested by Durango police for possessing credit cards that didn't belong to him, Schmeier said. Schmidt, who has lived in Hilltop House since May 1st, hadn't shown any signs of trying to escape before, Schmeier said. He worked full-time at Big O Tires during the week and worked at Oscar's Cafe on the weekends. Schmidt, who is from Durango, will not be allowed to return to Hilltop House. He is currently in San Juan County Jail in New Mexico, Schmeier said.
From the Journal, File Photo. The San Juan National Forest invites the public to learn about the Lone Pine Environmental Analysis Project during a tour on August 1st from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The forest management has become a big local issue as the dry fuel becomes a potential for terribly devastating wildfires, as we have recently seen in our area. At 9 a.m., participants may meet at either the Dolores Public Land Center at 29211 Colorado Highway 184 or at the Dolores Public Service Center at 8477 Road 7.7 in Dove Creek. The tour includes visiting the analysis area with stops at examples of past forest treatments. Current forest health issues will also be addressed. The event is free and open to the public. Participants should dress for the field and bring their own lunch and water. Soft drinks will be provided. A high clearance vehicle is recommended for the tour and carpooling will be available. Tour stops include the Ferris Timber Sale at 10 a.m., a beetle infestation overview at 11:30, a visit to the Wolf Den Plantation at 1 p.m., and the Power Line Corridor at 2 p.m. The event is sponsored by the Dolores Watershed Resilient Forest Collaborative and the San Juan National Forest. For details, email dwarfcollaborative@gmail.com or contact Rebecca Simolsky at 970-739-7899.
According to the Durango Herald, a 31-year-old Durango woman injured Tuesday in a head-on collision on U.S. Highway 160 between Durango and Bayfield was listed in fair condition Wednesday, a spokeswoman at St. Anthony's Hospital said. Around 4:30 p.m. Tuesday, authorities responded to a head-on crash near mile marker 96, west of the Narrow Gauge Mobile Home Park. Colorado State Patrol Trooper Bradley Sparger said Durango resident Samantha Hausner was headed west in a Toyota Corolla when sudden rain on the road caused her car to hydroplane and cross the center line. Hausner struck a Ford pickup headed east, which went off the road and hit a culvert. Hesner's Toyota rotated counterclockwise and went off the right shoulder of the road. The driver of the Ford pickup was not injured. Hausner's other occupant in the vehicle, her juvenile son, was also not injured. Hausner was taken to Mercy Regional Medical Center and then flown by helicopter to St. Anthony's Hospital in Lakewood. Sparger said Hausner was cited with careless driving because she was not driving in a manner for the conditions of the road. Excessive speed and alcohol and drugs are not suspected factors in the crash. Everyone involved in the crash was wearing seatbelts, Sparger said.
Colorado Public Radio reported Denver voters won't have a chance to free the spores, at least not during the 2018 midterms. The grassroots campaign behind a proposed ballot initiative that would decriminalize psychedelic mushrooms, known by their scientific name as psilocybin, ran into a series of hurdles when it came to getting approval from the Denver Elections Division. As of this moment, ballot language still hasn't been approved. Kevin Matthews, one of the people behind the Denver Psychoactive Mushroom Decriminalization Initiative, said he's not worried. The group hardly has time to collect the required 5,000 signatures before the city's mid-August deadline. Instead, now they're aiming for Denver's May 2019 ballot. Matthews expects approval of the new initiative language in the coming weeks. Quote, "We want to make this campaign as effective as possible, which of course means having the language that would make the most sense," Matthews said. "We decided that it was important to kind of redraft it from the ground up." Matthews said the new language has been reviewed by an outside legal consultant, but it's yet to be filed with the city. Missing the chance to be on the ballot during a midterm when turnout is expected to be higher than usual could have taken the wind out of their sails, but it may actually be a blessing in disguise. Between now and 2019, the group has the chance to educate voters on psilocybin, Matthews said. They've also been connecting with other pro-psychedelic campaigns in California and Oregon. The California Psilocybin Legalization Initiative failed to qualify for the 2018 ballot as well. On the group's Facebook page, one organizer indicated they may work with legislators to decriminalize it at the State House. But Matthews points out that the campaign gathered at least 25% of the signatures they needed. That's more than 90,000 for a statewide initiative. To get on the Denver City ballot, Matthews' groups only needs 5,000. The California initiative shortfall, according to Matthews, still shows that there's enough popular support for change. "There's a really strong undercurrent of psychedelic use in our culture," he said. "It's really highly influenced our culture," which is to say that this ballot initiative, or the one in California, or even the one in Oregon, aimed at creating a sort of medical mushrooms program by 2020, won't be what moves the needle. Not when it comes to public perception. Matthews notes that attitudes have been changing right under our noses this whole time. He points to the work of the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies. The group is studying the use of MDMA, known as the drug ecstasy, in the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder, with study sites in Fort Collins and Boulder. MAPS is also involved in a state-funded study researching marijuana use for PTSD treatment. Matthews also said the growing trend of microdosing psychedelics, recently taken up by tech workers in Silicon Valley, reflects not only changing attitudes towards the drugs themselves, but heightened reservations about conventional medicine and an increased willingness to experiment. In a way, when Colorado cracked the door open for marijuana, the cultural shift that transpired may have left it open for a fungi. We're specifically focused on the fact that, for instance, arrests for psilocybin in the Denver metro area, it's like 1.3% of drug arrests are related to mushrooms, Matthews said. There's not a lot of enforcement already. When it comes to federal law, psilocybin is a Schedule I substance carrying among the harshest penalties for possession, cultivation, or trafficking. Matthews and his fellow organizers are already making plans to team up with Veterans for Natural Rights, a Colorado-based nonprofit that supports alternative treatments for conditions like PTSD. Together, they'll host panel discussions and invite members of the community to ask their questions. Matthews is hoping to invite speakers from places like Innate Path, a Lakewood-based clinic offering psychedelic therapy, or Boulder-based NOAC Society, which is exploring changes to Colorado's Right to Try Act, which would allow patients to experiment with psychedelics. "We're slowly but surely building a pretty strong coalition, which is exciting," Matthews said. "It's pretty amazing to even be having the conversation with some of our elected and appointed officials here."
According to the Cortez Journal, with a photo by Jim Mimiaga, the drought and extremely low winter snowpack are wreaking havoc on water supplies for reservoirs and irrigators in southwest Colorado. Narragansett and Groundhog reservoirs are at their lowest level in 16 years, said Brandon Johnson, general manager for the Montezuma Valley Irrigation Company. The limited water supply caused a reduction in allocations for MVIC shareholders Thursday to 36 inches, or 3 acre-feet per share. Shareholders who have reached that allocation will be shut off on Friday. During normal snowpack years, a full allocation is 48 inches or 4 acre-feet per share. A date has not been set for the entire system to be shut off for the season, he said. Groundhog Reservoir has a capacity of 21,700 acre-feet, but is at 11,000 acre-feet right now, Johnson said. It is expected to be drawn down to the minimum level of 4,000 acre-feet that is required for the fish pool. During normal years, groundhog is kept at 13,000 acre-feet going into winter. Despite recent rains, the Four Corners area is still in an exceptional drought category, the highest level listed by the U.S. Drought Monitor. And now let's take a look at the weather.
Looking at the national weather map, heavy rains are expected to impact New England, while rains and storms will be prevalent all up and down the eastern seaboard, back into the Midwest, Central Plains, and back across to Montana. Risk of flash flooding and severe weather for the central southern Rockies and central high plains as well. Dangerous heat is the forecast as it continues across the southwest and portions of the west coast. Regionally, a downtick in showers and thunderstorms is expected today as drier air moves in from the north. A few showers and storms will fire over the higher terrain, but coverage and intensity should be less than seen recently. Most of the disturbances will die down by sunset. Moisture increases Friday, however, into the weekend, allowing more potential for precipitation and thunderstorm cells. Monday and Tuesday of next week look somewhat drier, with moisture returning to the region next Wednesday onward. The local DCTV 5-day outlook shows today sunny with a high near 89, north-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tonight partly cloudy with a low around 60, north-northwest winds 5 to 10, becoming south-southeast after midnight. Then Friday, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 87, south-southeast winds 5 to 10, becoming west in the afternoon. Friday night partly cloudy with a low around 60, west winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming east-southeast in the evening. And Saturday again a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 90, south-southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming west in the afternoon. Saturday night, again 20% chance of showers persists and thunderstorms before midnight, partly cloudy with a low around 61. And then Sunday, sunny, high with a high near 91. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 60. And into the next week, sunny with a high near 90 on Monday. Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 59. And Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 90. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 61 again. And now, back to the news.
According to the Durango Herald, with photos by Kevin Van Possen with Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center, a handful of Alzheimer's patients signed up for a bold experiment. They let scientists beam sound waves into their brain to temporarily jiggle an opening in its protective shield. The so-called blood-brain barrier prevents germs and other damaging substances from leaching in through the bloodstream, but it can block drugs for Alzheimer's brain tumors and other neurological diseases too. Canadian researchers on Wednesday reported early hints that technology called focused ultrasound can safely poke holes in that barrier, holes that quickly sealed back up. A step toward one day using the non-invasive device to push brain treatments through. The findings were presented at the Alzheimer's Association International Conference in Chicago and published in Nature Communications. This first step research, conducted in just 6 people with mild to moderate Alzheimer's, checked if patients' fragile blood vessels could withstand the breach without bleeding or other side effects. It didn't test potential therapies. More safety testing is needed, but it's definitely promising, said Dr. Eliezer Maslaya of the National Institute on Aging, who wasn't involved with this study. Alzheimer's isn't the only target. A similar safety study is underway in Lou Gehrig's disease, and researchers are testing if the tool helps more chemotherapy reach the right spot in people with a deadly brain tumor called glioblastoma.
A Fox News 31 2 News Colorado story by Rob Lowe. Imagine making close to $100,000 a year and having nothing to do at the office. It's what Denver whistleblowers say was reality for employees at the local office of the Inspector General for Veterans Affairs, or the VA office. That's the very division in charge of wiping out waste, fraud, and abuse for the medical system that serves the nation's veterans. These are your tax dollars that are paying the salaries of these individuals to sit in an office and do absolutely nothing all day, said one anonymous whistleblower to the problem solvers. After a while, it became a joke, is how a second whistleblower described it. Come into work and pretty much staring at the wall all day, kind of just hanging out every day, pretty much with nothing to do, end quote. Both whistleblowers filed complaints with the Office of Special Counsel in Washington, stating an office of 11 employees basically did no work from April 2017 to April of 2018. The combined salaries of those employees during that time frame totaled more than $1.2 million. Long lunches, I mean watching movies, reading books, I mean I was doing schoolwork. I'm not going to lie, I did not have any work assigned. I spent the majority of my time doing schoolwork, said whistleblower number 1, and who happened to be a paid intern making $47,214 a year, to help conduct information technology audits. The problem solvers obtained copies of the complaints filed with the Office of Special Counsel, and the one from whistleblower number 2 states, quote, "I would have filed this sooner, but this office has already had 2 investigations into management and nothing has happened. The office has actually gotten worse, and now you throw in no work." In mid-June, the Office of Special Counsel released a letter to the whistleblowers admitting the Denver OIG office, quote, "did not have sufficient work to keep all employees fully engaged on active projects," though it only acknowledges this for a 9-month period from July 2017 to April 2018, instead of the 1-year time frame alleged by the whistleblowers. "It really gives you no confidence in the system," said Representative Mike Kaufman from Colorado, who represents the 6th Congressional District. Kaufman said he wants the Veterans Affairs Oversight Committee to investigate how it's possible an office doing almost no work would then hire 3 more auditors in May of 2018, each making $95,000 a year. "It's a big deal to the taxpayer of the United States. It's a big deal to the veterans that aren't getting the resources that they should be getting because they're being wasted in these other areas," Kaufman said. In its letter of findings, the Office of Special Counsel wrote, "Several factors contributed to the lack of assigned work, including the untimely selection and approval of audit topics and the fact that some staff were unfamiliar with the development of quality audit proposals. Investigators determined the office would operate better in the future because another manager had recently been hired, in addition to the office director and 2 existing managers, to help oversee an office as of May that now has 10 auditors instead of 7. When asked if someone should be fired, whistleblower number 2 said, "Honestly, yes," adding it's like a slap in the face that no one was held accountable. There is one position the Denver Office of Inspector General agreed to eliminate: the paid internship. That intern was told the program was supposed to lead to a full-time position, and the office did, in fact, hire 3 more auditors in May. But the Denver OIG informed the intern she would no longer be needed as of July 10th. She suspects it has everything to do with her whistleblower complaint.
Reported by the Durango Herald, as more students balk at the debt loans they face after graduation, some colleges are offering an alternative. "We'll pay your tuition if you offer us a percentage of your future salary." Norwich University announced Tuesday that it will become the latest school to offer this type of contract, known as an income share agreement. Norwich's program is starting out on a small scale, mainly for students who do not have access to other types of loans or those who are taking longer than the traditional 8 semesters to finish their degree. In contrast with traditional loans, in which students will simply pay down the principal and interest until there is nothing left, students with income share agreements pay back a percentage of their salary for a set period of time. Those touting the program say they give colleges greater incentive to help students find higher-earning jobs after graduation, because a higher salary means the school may recoup its investment in a shorter period of time. For some students, income share agreements are seen as less risky, especially if they end up in a lower-paying job or struggle to find work after graduation. While students are unemployed or earning below a certain threshold, they don't have to pay anything back. But because employment and salary determine repayment, it's possible providers could be seen as discriminating against recipients who choose lower-paying professions.
From KJCT in Grand Junction, photo Joey Pretzel. Palisade town leaders and farmers say this year's peach crop is one of the largest they've ever had. This comes after a Colorado State University research study pointed to a fungal disease impacting the peach crop. The chamber clarified that the fungus did damage, but they have a bumper crop of high-quality peaches. Bruce Talbot said this fungus is nothing new, and farmers have had to plan for it the last couple of years in our area. Quote, "We can still keep the industry healthy, but instead of getting 20 to 25 years out of an orchard, we're getting 10 to 15. So we have to aggressively replant. So the nice thing is we can adjust our variety mix more frequently," said Talbot, the farms manager at Talbot's Mountain Gold. Talbot said he thinks the fungus is affecting Palisade because of a few harsh winters in the past couple of years. He said not to fear because the crop this year is one of the largest and best he's seen.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of July 16th through the 22nd. The fire department responded to fire on Road 1. It took a report of smoke in the Lone Kona area. BLM was contacted. They reported that they were already fighting the 2-acre fire and had named it the Plateau Fire. Took a report of juveniles acting suspiciously outside the district office. They were contacted and the officer determined that everything was okay. Investigated a report of trespassing and vandalism in an unoccupied house. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. Friday, July 27th, Dove Creek Stud, Students Tackling Unhealthy Decisions, is hosting the Relay Under the Stars fundraiser starting at 7 p.m. at the football field. Dinner is provided. Entry is $20 per person or $300 for a team. And the big local event this weekend is happening in Mancos for their Mancos Days. July 28th, annual Mancos Days volleyball tournament will be held Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. You can register early online using their website, mancosdays.com. First game starting at 8 a.m. Late registration at Boyle Park in the southeast corner at 7:30 a.m. $10 a player, maximum 4 players per team. Co-ed is allowed. And also there in Mancos, it's the Kids Games Day, running 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. July 27th. Join them for kids games following the kids parade at Boyle Park. All kids are free of charge. All games are free of charge, The kids games this year are sponsored by Bank of Colorado. Following kids games, there will be a magic show in the Parks Pavilion at 1 p.m. For more information on all of this, you can go again to their website, mancosdays.com. And all of the happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand. Be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news in our area, and of course, please share it with a friend. For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.